still at it. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask Pastor Vanita if you could come up and lead us in a prayer. Wait a minute, LaToya is here. LaToya, I'm gonna ask Vanita to lead us in a prayer and let you do announcements. Okay. I already called on.
Good morning, everyone. Let's bow our heads. Master, Savior, Jesus, there's just something about your name, Jesus. It's like the fragrance after the rain or in the rain. You're like the fresh morning dew, the beautiful breath of air that we breathe. And sometimes we take that for granted as we go about our little menial, very mundane, very insignificant day. We forget that we serve a living God, and it is He alone that we should always be striving to answer to. We thank God for this space, which has been a space for the community for many, many years, fighting against the injustices that impedes a race of people who are underserving. So we thank God for leadership that can see that we still need to come together, to unite, to make this city a better place to live. We thank you, Lord, for our Black history, for it is enriched with joy and pain. And as long as we come together, we can transform a city and make this place a better place to live for all people. And for this, we call on your name. And for this effort, we give you praise. And for this, we lift your name on high. We thank God for the speakers. And God, let our ears be ready to receive a positive message that we can spread throughout the community and bless our children. And it's in your mighty and holy name that we say, amen.
All right, come on in. I'm going to have Attorney Chakoya Gallman. She is the president of the Napier-Luby Bar Association, to bring us greetings this morning. Come on in. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Chakoya Gallman. I am the president of the Napier-Luby Bar Association and the Tennessee Alliance for Black Lawyers. I am also an assistant district attorney here in Nashville. I'm excited to be here this morning, even though it's raining. I wanted to invite you all to the Napier-Luby Bar Foundation's annual banquet here in Nashville. Is going to be at 1410 on February 22nd. You can purchase tickets by sending checks to our P.O. Box. All of that information can be found at napierlubyfoundation.org. We're also selling tables. All of the funds raised, in addition to all of the profits raised, will go to scholarships for minority law students that are in financial need. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Judge Kimbrough Hayes, for inviting me. I'm excited to be here, and I wanted to welcome you all to One Nashville.
Thank you. Well, we're not going to waste any time, but let me first I'm going to recognize all those who are public officials here. If you're an elected official, will you please stand? All right. Okay, we have Judge Lynn Ingram here. She's a part of our One Nashville task force. We have Judge Jim Todd here. And we have Clerk Joseph Day here of the Circuit Court Clerk. And we have Miss Vivian Wilhort here, who is the Assessor of Property. And if you are running for office, please stand. All right, I'm gonna let you announce yourself if you're running for office, and you get a 1-minute spiel each.
Thank you. I'm Tamesia Day, a candidate for the office of Assessor of Property. I'm a Nashville native. I actually grew up right down the street in Preston Taylor Home. I attended Procone High School, graduated from McGavick High. I'm also a Tennessee State University alum. I have a bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in real estate and urban development. I also have my MBA, and I have the TMA, which is the Tennessee Master Assessor Certification. I've actually worked in that office under 2 different administrators. That's why I decided to run for this particular position. Hopefully, I can earn your vote and support of my candidacy. Election, March 5th, early voting, Valentine's Day through the 27th. Vote day all the way. Thank you.
All right, let me restart time. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Vivian Wilhoit. I'm your Assessor of Property of Nashville and Davidson County. When I started this journey, I was already an appraiser with the Tennessee Public Service Commission. We were the for-profit gas, water, electric, and telephone utility appraisers. At that time, I was the first African American for the state of Tennessee to be in that position. It was considered the 96th assessor. All the assessors across Tennessee, they were the assessors, but as the appraiser at the Public Service Commission, we were already doing the for-profit gas, water, electric, and telephone utilities in the mass appraisal industry. Done that for 8 years and did it successfully. I was ready to put my experience to work at the Tennessee Public Service Commission, but I also ran for the Metro Council. There I served an 8-year term representing 10 to 15,000 constituency, as well as overseeing a budget with the mayor of a $2.1 billion budget. Wonderfully timed. And then finally, as your assessor of property, I served for 8 years, successfully doing the 2017 and the 2021 reappraisal with an amazing staff.
Okay,
thank you for your vote. Experience matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for those running for office. I'm a witness. It's a tough thing to do, okay? I'm a witness. It's a tough thing to do. But one thing about it, I never missed a beat on coming to One Nashville because I know how important this space is to let people know that you're running for office and how you want to serve community. Well, I just want to say I am overjoyed to see all of you all here this morning. And we are excited. We have some wonderful speakers to celebrate Black History Month this morning. We have Mr. Jerome Moore. Where is he? He is an author, a best-selling author, I hear, of his book, focusing on deep dish conversations, community conversations that he has had over the years to raise awareness about social justice, social activism, specifically focusing on African American communities and underserved communities as well. We also have Dr. David Ewing, who is an attorney. He is a Nashville jewel, and I cannot wait till he finally releases a book on all the things that he knows about Nashville. We also have Dixon. Catherine Brown. What am I saying? I did the flyer wrong. She's my soror, too. We have Dr. Catherine Brown here. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and she is the person when it comes to heart health and heart education. She has received numerous awards for her work with raising awareness about heart health. She also has a wonderful youth program focused on girls, and I'm going to ask her to share just a couple of things about that as well. And we also have Judge Jim Todd, who's going to be sharing with us about a wonderful project focusing on the late Judge Dinkins. So look forward to hearing from those, and we're going to take those in those order. Each speaker would have 15 minutes. But before we start, I would like the young man who's going to be singing the national anthem to come forward at this time. And son, what is your name? Ethan Freeman. And what school do you go to? Okay, this is Mr. Ethan Freeman, and his dad is back there with us today, and he is going to do a rendition. You're going to do he's going to be singing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And Dad, if you want to come forward, you seem like you're on the edge of your seat back there. Do you have your camera and all of that ready for little Ethan here? And I just want to say, Ethan, I'm so proud of you that you reached out to One Nashville so that you could participate with us in this fashion. And we are just overjoyed to have you speak. I see, and then we'll do that afterwards. Thank you so much, son. Okay, and you got to sign up for my Court Officer of the Day program, too, okay? Okay, thank you so much. He's such a sweetheart. Oh, my gosh. Okay, and do you want to take the microphone off, or do you want to leave it on?
Thank you, bro.
I just want to leave it on. Okay, there you go. He is so expressive.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Ethan Freeman. I am 11 years old. I am a 5th grade student at Lipscomb Academy. May you please stand for Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, now our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you. You may be seated.
Let's just give him another hand of applause. And Dad, we got plenty of video and pictures that we will send you. And we just had to celebrate our young people as we usher in Black History Month. And look, it is Valentine's. Honey, you have that candy back there? So, oh. Hey, good answer. Okay, great. So I got some Hershey Kisses and things to pass out to folks. Okay, we get it. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna pass out some Valentine's candy because we want to know let everybody know that you're loved. And we're also going to have some Black History trivia. So before we get our first speaker, I'm going to have a couple of trivia questions. Okay, yeah, you can go pass out the candy. No, open up the candy and pass it. Yeah, pass it out. Yeah, pass it out. All right, we have one other candidate to come in. Stephanie Williams, would you like to give a 1-minute introduction of what you're running for? And she'll tell you all about it. I'm going to set the timer so I can be fair and go right ahead.
All right, very quickly, good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Williams, and I have the honor and pleasure to run to be the next judge of the 4th Circuit Court here in Nashville. 4th Circuit Court is a family court. We do adoptions, divorce, child support, custody. I can go into a whole bunch of things, but I want you to know I've served in this court for the last 9 years under our
9 years is kind of like the junior judge. So I'm sure you all know when early voting starts on Valentine's Day. I asked for your vote. Did I make my 60 seconds?
You got 20 left over. You want to sing a solo? You want to sing a solo? Okay, thank you. Okay. You can do a closeout, as the preacher say. Before we go with our first speaker, who will be Jerome Moore, the author of Deep Dish Conversations, and he has books for sale today. I told him to bring his books, and has a few books for sale. And he has a lot of wonderful events coming up, including a live on Nashville Public, is it NPR? MPT, and wanting to hear all what he has to say today. Before we get started, we have a few prizes for some Black History Month quotes. Reverend Fuzz, you're not allowed to answer. Okay, and these are kind of easy too. Okay, here's a quote. You have to guess who said it, and I would just, somebody help me monitor who raised their hand first, okay? Kathy, can you help me monitor who raised their hand first? Okay, who famously said, "I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear"? It's either Nelson Mandela, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, or James Baldwin. You got to raise your hand. Oh, okay. Who had their hand up first? Nope. Nope. Now you should know. Rosa Parks. Okay. Here, come and get your prize. Okay, we'll do one more question before we get started. This is an easy one. Okay, this is a good one. Who was the first African-American child to desegregate an all-white, back here, okay, who? In the grade, Ethan. All right. Come on up here, Ethan. I'm so proud of you. You know I am proud of you. Okay, that one's too easy. Let's go here. Okay. Oh, that was an easy one. Okay. Who is known as the Godfather of Soul? Well, I'm throwing that one out. You got to raise your hand. Okay, everybody raise their hand. Yeah, I'm going to throw that one out. Okay. You got to raise your hand. Now we're going to go on to another question. Somebody don't blurt it out. Which director is known for his collaborations with actor Daniel Kaluuya in the films Get Out and Us? Okay, this gentleman back here in the glasses, that's who I saw. It is. Come and get your heart. We're going to do one more question and then we're going to move on. Oh, I'm going to do one. Who was and don't you answer, David Ewan. Oh, good to see you. Thank you. Who was the first African American to be elected to judge in Davidson County? You Napier Louis people. Don't do Napier Louis. No Napier Louis answer. Miss Day had her hand up first. After Chakoya. A.A. Birch. That's exactly right. Okay, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Okay, we're going with our first speaker, and then we'll do some more questions, and I have more prizes.
Who won the Godfather of Soul?
I threw that one out because everybody answered it. You can't yell it out. I had to disqualify the question. Okay, let's give Mr. Jerome Moore a hand. Yes.
gonna keep time on everybody.
I'm gonna give y'all 10. I'm gonna give y'all 10.
I changed my mind.
Okay.
Judge.
And we live streaming on YouTube, so if you're not supposed to be sitting to somebody that you shouldn't be sitting next to, maybe you should not sit next to them live on YouTube. But I appreciate Judge Kimbrough Hayes for having me, CorinthianBaptist Church, for hosting this in One Nashville. My name is Jerome Moore. When people introduce me, it's really tough because I do so much. You know, I'm an organizer, I'm an explorer, social change, I'm a podcaster, I have a television show on PBS Nashville. The list goes on and on and on and on. I appreciate that. And I'm from Nashville. I went to Pearl Cohn High School. I'm a Firebird state champions. Y'all know all of that good stuff. And so I'm a real product of Nashville. And it's funny that today is celebrated as Chinese New Year because previously moving back to Nashville, I was living in China for 2 years, right? So I have a huge background in community economic development that I pivoted over into the media because I seen there was a void, the amplification of solution-based projects, solution-based thinking, right? And this is where Deepest Conversations kind of really got this catalyst and this origin. And I do have a few books, not many. It's a bestseller. There's not many left to really buy, you know. Just be honest, you know. Amazon got a couple for y'all. So moving back to Nashville after traveling abroad, after learning how to embrace diversity, because I grew up in my own little black bubble here in Nashville, didn't know how white it was. Because I grew up in my own black bubble here in North Nashville and going to Pearl Cohn High School, Bordeaux, Kings Lane, Cumberland, all of those schools, right? That are predominantly black, as we know, which is vastly changing now just due to gentrification. But I wanted to really explore social change in my own city. I really didn't know as much as I thought about all of these black historical things. For example, we know Hadley Park is the first park for black folks in the United States. I don't know how many people knew that. Of course, we knew it was a plantation, but it turns into a park specifically for black folks recognized by the United States government. I didn't know these things. These are not things that are taught in the schools here, in history or in civics class, right? And so I wanted to take a deep dive personally for myself to explore these things within community, right? Because we have this misconception, a lot of us, especially in the organizing space, that we're in community. And a lot of times we're in cliques and not community. And it's a difference. It's a difference, right? We know that a clique is closed and the community is open, right? And that's from politicians to organizers to regular community members. Sometimes we can get it misconstrued. So I challenge everybody today to realize, are you really in community? Are you really opening? Or are you really in a clique and you just really want to hear what everybody else hears that think like you, that look like you? Are you really truly embracing diversity of Nashville? Don't mean you always got to agree with everybody, but are you really taking a chance to challenge yourself and challenge thoughts? Because a lot of times when we think about diversity, right, and that's why This Conversation is so good, I just don't got black folks on there. I just don't have white folks on there. I just don't have Latinx folks on there. It's just not API folks or people that even believe what I believe, right? If you listen to the podcast, I don't even really do too much talking. I do a lot of listening, right? I'm an active listener because that's how I learn and grow because I don't have all the answers. I know I've done the work. I know what I've seen, but I don't have all the answers, so that's why I intentionally do that. And so that's why I always want to challenge people when we're talking about embracing diversity, building proximity to people that we don't really look like or think like, which is even probably more important than just skin color, right? Because, you know, you can be skin folk, but not kinfolk. We all understand. You know, you can be black, but not think black. You know, we understand these. We understand these things. And so that's why this is here, right? That's why I've created a platform for everybody to welcome, not for a safe space, but a brave space, right? And brave is because I'm a black man in the United States. I don't understand safe spaces, but I understand brave spaces. I understand I got to get up here and be brave every day and speak truth to power, right? And I want everybody to understand, especially in the time of 2024 and election season, silence is not an option. Even if you got to come on the Deep Conversation podcast, silence is not an option. Because silence usually benefits the oppressor and not the oppressed, right? Silence usually benefits the oppressor and not the oppressed. And a lot of us are being silent right now. A lot of us are being real scary right now, right? Real scary. And that's not our obligation to be scary. It's our obligation to speak out. We all say we want change. We want social change. But we all got to participate in that. And that just goes beyond just casting a vote. And we got to hold each other accountable when it comes to those things, right? Because we have We don't have a how-to problem. We have a want-to problem. We don't have a how-to problem. We have a want-to problem. Many of us know what we should be doing, how we should be doing it, but a lot of us don't want to do it. Stop being scary. Be brave. Be courageous, especially in a city like Nashville and a state like Tennessee at this particular moment. It's no time for scary and people that want to be silent, people that want to be neutral. Ain't no neutrality in this right now. You got to pick a side. You can't be lukewarm. I think at this particular moment, the worst person you can be is a lukewarm person. Let me know what side you on and what side you not on. And it's easy to be lukewarm in a city like Nashville because it's a big city, but for those that are from here, especially black folks, that's a super minority, it's still a small town, right? And friends and buddies and, you know how they go. Don't want to offend people that you like. Don't, even though they're not doing the right thing, hold them accountable. I'll call Aunt V in a minute. Hey, we need to talk about something. And then Judge Hayes will call me in a minute. Hey, Jerome, I don't know what you're doing right now. But Jackie Sims is right there that does great work. Hold me accountable too, because I'm gonna hold you accountable. And it's not time to take things always personal when it comes to these things here in Nashville, right? And I know it's Black History enough, and we always Black 365, but we blackly black during Black History Month. But we gotta hold each accountable as a community, black, white, API, Latinx, all the time. Regardless of position, from the mayor to the janitor, everybody is not beyond being held accountable. And that's a problem here in Nashville. And I'm gonna call it out. I don't plan on running for nothing, but I'm gonna call it out for sure because this is my city and I love Nashville. I'm a product of Nashville. When people look at Nashville, they should look at me. And I stand on that. When people think about what Nashville sound like, they should listen to my voice. Not only because I've done the work, but I'm practicing it every day. And I'm not picking sides and I'm not picking agenda. No, I'm just standing on what is right and what is wrong and learning to grow. And I challenge everybody here today to do the same thing. Because again, we don't have a how-to, we have a want-to problem. That's all right. And if everybody can take anything from what I'm saying today, it's to one, embrace diversity, two, be in community and not cliques, and think solution-based. That's all I do. My conversations, if you heard the podcast, we're not always just talking about the barriers and challenges. We know that. Go listen to Judge Todd's podcast. He's talking about how can we correct and fix some things that are going on in the juvenile court system or with youth. Go listen to, we think about solutions. If you're not thinking solution-based, I really don't even want to be around you. It's easy to critique. It doesn't take no talent to critique. Zero. It don't take any talent to get on your phone and tweet something or post something. Because my whole thing, if somebody is trying, they're trying. Don't mean we always get it right. We always gonna stumble. We always gonna trip and fall sometimes, but they're trying, especially in the organizing space here in Nashville. Oh my gosh. It's always easy to criticize and say that organization, that person is not doing it the way that I want it to be done.
Come on.
What does that matter? They trying. And that don't mean you gotta call them out. Call them in. Don't call them out, call them in. That's a post right there. That's a caption right there. Y'all can use that. Yeah, y'all can, that's a hashtag. Because that's the problem we got. We got a lot of people that want to call folks out, but don't want to call them in. And when you call them out, that's already an adversarial approach. Hey, check me on my time because I'm on the road right now. I said I got 10 minutes. But so we got to start calling folks in instead of calling folks out, and that's a huge issue during Black History Month. If I was Martin Luther King, I would have done this. Or if I was Malcolm X, he should have done it. What are we talking about? If I was 6'6", I would have 360. Like, what are we talking about right now? Right? And we got to get out of that habit as community members in general and stop calling out what people are not doing. And one, take a self-reflection. What are you doing? But also, if you do have an issue with somebody's doing, what's the best way to go about approaching them and calling them in and have a conversation about it? And we do that bad here in Nashville. I've only been here 33 years in my life. I'm a young man, but I'm a young man, right? I'm a young man. But I've seen these things, and we got to start addressing these things now, especially in a shifting city like Nash. And if we don't, it's gonna run away from us because this is run away from us right now. Anybody can see it is run away from us, and that's why silence is not an option. Neutrality is not an option, and we must think solution-based. And remember, change yourself, change your community, change your world. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, my gal gonna like this. I appreciate it. You saved me a trip.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
Ron?
Any questions?
Any questions? All right. How can we get your book?
Yeah, so I got about 7 books with me right now. I have a QR code. If you'd like to buy one, you can buy one from me right now at a discounted price for $20. Or you can go on Amazon and pay $24.99 or something like that. So, but I'm around. I pass around my information again. As Judge Kimbrough Hayes said, I have a live event coming up on Nashville Public Television, PBS. It's in conversation with Tim Wise, who's also from Nashville, but if you all know Tim Wise, he's an anti-racist author and educator. That's on February 22nd at 7:15. And so it's live to broadcast, so it's television, so you have to be in your seats by 7:45. But I'm around, I do a lot, and so I appreciate y'all, and this is what Nashville look like and sound like.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Okay, great. And he has books here. And see you guys later, those who are on the campaign trail. See you later. I know how that is. Want to recognize General Glenn Funk. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us this morning. Okay, we have time for anyone want another Black History question? Okay, one more. Before we get to our next speaker, who will be Dr. Catherine Brown. Okay, let me see here. Make sure don't yell out the answer. Raise your hand. Let me see here. Okay, which filmmaker helmed the groundbreaking superhero film Black Panther? Which filmmaker helmed the groundbreaking superhero film Black Panther? Okay, in the red here. That's true. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, great. All right. We'll do one more here. Okay, this is an easy one. Let's do this one. Who wrote the seminal work, raise your hand, There Are Eyes for Watching God? Who wrote, right over here? That's true. Come and get your prize. Okay. All right. Now, this is a, okay, great. All right, great. Now, thank you so much. Now we'll have Dr. Catherine Brown. She's going to share with us about heart health this morning. Thank you.
If you know me, you know I don't go far without a mannequin. So greetings. It's an honor to be here with you all today. You know, this is my first time coming to One Nashville, but it won't be the last, because there's something powerful in the name One Nashville that has resonated with me since I received the invitation to come. Really what has hit my spirit is that this is not just fellowship, it's not a conversation, it's a collective call to action. I understand it. So thank you, One Nashville. So many people say, who is Dr. Catherine Y. Brown? Whether you know me from CPR training, Learn CPR America, or even the Leadership Academy, my journey was far from easy. It's a matter of the heart. And in some ways, some of it has been a statistic of the system as it was designed to be. But I also say that our truth may be a fact, but it does not define our trajectory. So I'm gonna give you a really short glimpse about how your statistics don't stop you. And I'm gonna stay on the cadence of a matter of the heart. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I was born there, raised there, but became something totally different in Nashville. But let's jump to Chicago. 17 years old, teenage mother, south side of Chicago. Not really sure what I was going to do. I go into the campus, they have an audition, I play a Mozart concerto from memory on flute win the scholarship. There, my college journey begins. Graduate with honors. Go straight to my master's degree at Purdue University, double master's degree. By the time I was 25 years old, you talked about first. I was the first African American to earn a doctoral faculty position in the history of Belmont University. I was the first African American to facilitate the process that led to chartering the first Black Greek organization that ever existed on the campus of Belmont University. My life took me to open up the first freestanding CPR company on the south side of Chicago. And in the last 12 months, I became the first African American to receive the Martin E. Simmons Award from the American Heart Association from transforming over 3,000 lives. I trained for free over 300,000 people in CPR and became the International Resuscitation Champion for the Heart Association. But people see that, but they don't know your journey of getting there. So this is why I brought Saul up for let's see, 2 minutes if we can do it. You think we can do it? He says yes. Here we go. So this is my mannequin, SAL, Mr. Save a Life. So I was upset about the statistics. Why is it that your zip code defines how you live and die if you will receive CPR? Is no one else upset about this? That's why I opened up the company. So they say, if you build it, they will. I built it and they did not. So Saul and I, my 4 children, we started a door knocking campaign. We went to people's doors. Hey, it's Dr. Catherine. If somebody in this house went into cardiac arrest, would you know what to do? Do you know what people did? They slammed the door. And I kept going back. Until one day this woman said, what will it take for you to stop coming to my house? If you just come outside on the porch and let me teach you CPR, I won't come back. She let me teach her, and guess what happened? She said, everybody needs to know this. And then the journey started. I went to housing projects. I stood on the street corner with a sign on the corner that said, honk, if you know CPR, if you don't, pull over and I'll teach you. And I taught people. I taught them in encampments. Wherever people were gathered, even guys playing basketball, I would take my mannequin and throw it in the middle of them and be like, what's up? They were thinking, is she crazy? We might let her do whatever she's gonna do so she'll leave, and I teach them CPR. The point is that we all have a journey in life. Now, I know somebody in this room is wondering, well, what happened to the babies, the 4 babies? You don't know about the 4. Here we go. That 17-year-old girl that gave birth to the baby when she was 18, he's now 30 years old. He's a nurse. There you have it. My 23-year-old is a medical student. She wants to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. She attends Charles R. Drew Medical School in Los Angeles. My 3rd baby is 22, a graduate of Fisk University. He graduated at the age of 19. And my 15-year-old attends Father Ryan's High School. I say that because when we talk matters of the heart, it's a fact that I was a teenage mother, but that did not have anything to do with my trajectory. So, Judge Kimbrough asked me to talk briefly about KYB, and I hope I can do that in my time because I wasn't prepared, but I stay ready. Here we go. I started a nonprofit organization in my mother's honor to increase awareness of pulmonary hypertension. But we found that a lot of the people were too sick to advocate for themselves. There was a void. There's a leadership void. So we developed the Dr. Catherine Y. Brown Leadership Academy to fill the void. So what do? We take students through 4 modules, 4 core areas, 7 competencies. After they master that, I take them internationally. Now, I started out and people said, Dr. Catherine, what makes you think anybody's gonna invest in little brown kids going international? Why do we need to do that? Because if they're gonna be global leaders, they gotta do what? Travel the globe. So I've taken them middle school, high school, college students from Nashville, North Nashville, 37208, 37218, 37209. I could go on and on. We've taken them so far to Costa Rica, Medellin, Colombia, Johannesburg, South Africa, Turks and Caicos Islands, Dubai. Guess what? Speaking of books, this book will be in Trinidad in March because I'm taking 10 students from Nashville to Trinidad, and we are leading an initiative to do that. We have 1,000 students that have signed up, and they're gonna have transformation from students in Nashville. So he said his book is not available. My book is available. And if you wanna get a book, I say if one buys 10, the children win. I got 10 books available for everybody in here because we got 1,000 students to train in Trinidad, because people tell me no, they won't believe it. They won't give me a grant funding. So I am out here beating the streets for the children of North Nashville, just like I did beating the doors for CPR. So I need 1,000 books sold to take to 1,000 lives in Trinidad. So $15. If one buys 10, the children win. They are for sale. I have a QR code, a PayPal, a website, Venmo, credit card, whatever you need. It's all about matters of the heart. Now back to the heart. Thank you. Back to the heart. So what I have learned that when I'll just give that to you. 3. Praise God, we just got 4. See how we do that? There we go. I see some other hands. I see hands. Look at that. 10 lives just got saved. 3 minutes. She said 3 minutes. I can't even get to matters of the heart because she cut me off. Y'all see what I'm saying? He wants 3 books. Here we go. Now, I say, Judge, give me 5 minutes back because she told me to talk about KYB, and that wasn't even on my list, but let's see what I could do. Our journey through history has been marked by challenges, triumphs, and resilience. So fast forward today, I'm gonna give you a fact. According to the Centers for Disease Control, heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. Fact, heart disease kills more women than all types of cancers combined. 60 million women, did I say 60? Somebody say million. Are living with some form of heart disease. So I'm gonna jump. Where do we go from here? I'm glad you asked me. It's time to be #proactive, not reactive. We don't have time to get ready. We have to stay ready. Now, I just want to take you real fast, if she allows me a little bit of grace and mercy in the house of the Lord, to get through these last couple of pages, because we are actually on the battlefield. Now, many of us know the lyrics. I promised him I would serve him until I die. I'm fighting. I've had heartaches and pain, sunshine and rain, but I'm fighting. I've been up and I've been down, but I'll never turn around because I'm fighting. I submit to you that we are on the battlefield for our lives, and it's time to fight. I just want to give you 5 points today. If Judge gives me a little grace and mercy. Here we go. Somebody say grace, mercy, just a little bit of time. So F is my first in my 5 points, firm foundation. The F that you all need to leave with today is faith and family. Identify your guiding force that will help you stay resilient and motivated on a plan to better heart health. I, what are you putting in your mouth? Look at your neighbor, say, what you putting in your mouth? Because what you put in is what you get out. You've got to focus on a balanced diet with plenty of fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and you can have a little bit of chocolate that she gave you for dessert, I guess, if it's dark chocolate. But here's what I'm telling you all. The time is over to say, Lord, bless this chicken for the nourishment of our body. Take the fried grease out of the chicken, Father God, the macaroni and cheese. Take the lard out of the butter. Take the butter out of the butter. What are you putting in your mouth? G, you've got to get active, stay active, incorporate physical activity into your routine. This is crucial for your heart. If you're not moving, your heart's not moving. That takes me to H. H is health checks. Somebody say health checks. You got to stay on top of your health. Early screening means early detection. Early detection means early treatment. Early treatment means early management. Early saves lives. Get your H health check. I'm gonna go right to the T, and I'm almost home. If the judge will give me a little bit of grace. T is tackling stress. Somebody say tackle. Tackling. Stress. You got to find tranquility. You've got to find your peace. Take it back. I take back my peace. I don't want to be anywhere that I don't want to be. I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do, because I only owe one person, one thing, and I gave you that with the first F. Faith and family. This is your peace. You need to protect it because it's a matter of the heart. And I submit to you today, my brothers, my sisters, in the spirit of one Nashville, it's time to fight. Because a matter of the heart is not giving you some statistics. I want to give you the tools. I gave you 5. We shall overcome if we organize, if we mobilize, and if we prioritize our health. So I call each of you today to become ambassadors of your own heart health. Number 1, let's commit to getting trained in CPR. Learn CPR America is for you. I will be in the back, on the sidewalk, wherever you need to be today to learn CPR before you leave. We need to host health fairs, not give out trinkets, but give out tools, and advocate for policies that bring resources and awareness to our neighborhoods. So in closing, hallelujah, I thank you for your grace today. In the spirit of those who paved the way for us, let us pledge to be the masters of our fate, the captains of our hearts and our souls. Amen. Our history is one overcoming, and our future, as a matter of the heart, must be one where we thrive and not merely survive, because it's time to fight. Together, we can, we must, we shall change the narrative and ensure that heart health is not a privilege for some, but a right for all in our community. And I thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. I am Dr. Catherine Y. Brown, hashtag Learn CPR America, hashtag KYB Leadership Academy, hashtag if one buys 10, the children win. And I thank you, and I thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Beautiful. Hashtag preacher. That was hashtag preacher. That was beautiful. Okay, we have about time for maybe 2 questions, and we're gonna have David Ewan, then we're gonna have you, Judge Todd. Okay, real quick. Who became the first African American to win the Academy Award for Best Actor in 1964? Right here. Well, you already won one. Okay, I didn't see you. Who is it? That's exactly right. Thank you.
1 year after I was born.
Okay. 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 All right. One more question here. Raise your hand. Who became the first African American? If you could help out Kathy too, because I don't want to miss anybody like I just did. Who became the first African American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993? Okay, go ahead. The first African American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Okay, this gentleman. Nope. Okay. No. Okay. You already won one. Gigi? No. Okay, right here? Nope. Okay, who? Nope. All right. Going once? It's Toni Morrison. Okay. Okay, raise your right. Yeah, that's Toni Morrison. Who is the acclaimed poet behind, raise your hand, The Weary Blues, and was the leading figure of a literature movement and art movement? I won't say what it was. Who wrote The Weary Blues? Langston Hughes. All day long. All day long. Okay, great. We're going to have David Ewan to come. Right over here, and then Jim Todd. Okay. Judge Todd, you don't have to worry. I got all the judges won. So I got all the judges won, so you don't have to worry about winning the prize.
Thank you for the invitation, Judge Kimbrough Hayes. It's great to be with One Nashville and the house that Reverend Fuzz built. Always good to be here. Amen. Amen. My name's David Steele Ewing. I'm a ninth generation Nashvilleian. I was born in 37208. My father was a physician at Meharry, but died of a heart attack at age 39. His father died of a heart attack at age 51, who taught at Pearl High School for about 35 years. My great-grandfather died of a heart attack at age 52. So Andre Churchwell, great cardiologist from Vanderbilt, has kept me going. Go make sure you have good heart health, all of us. Number one killer of people, black, white, men, women, we all need to be here. So I'm going to talk to you about, so we were in 37208, we moved to Bordeaux when the interstate came through. But today's message, we're going to talk about old Nashville and new Nashville, and we're not part of new Nashville because the people that are making money right now are not people that grew up here, mainly, particularly black people. Ethan, well done with the Negro National Anthem. This is a young person's town. John Lewis, Diane Nash, they weren't that much older than you when they came here to go to Fisk University. All these country music people that come, Taylor Swift moved here when she was 14, okay? Don't wait. We need you now, okay? We are a young person's town. So my family goes back to being enslaved by people like Andrew Jackson and John Overton, his law partner. We stayed here, and my great-great-grandfather was sent to Fisk University by the people that used to own him, and he was one of their first graduates and became the first black lawyer in Nashville in 1871. His twin brother also became a lawyer in the 1880s. And so there was opportunity here in Nashville. But I'm going to talk to you about real estate and property, because we used to live in the areas now where you see the tall buildings and that you see all the skyscrapers and things that are going on. Nashville's black neighborhoods were in the heart of downtown. After the Civil War, we lived next to the state capitol, the west side of the capitol, all up and down. That area now that's called Capitol View or the North Gulch, that was our neighborhood. We don't own it anymore. The area around Municipal Auditorium, near the courthouse, near the Morris Building, that was our neighborhood. We don't own it anymore. South of Broadway, where the Country Music Hall of Fame is, the Symphony Hall, Pinnacle Building, that was our neighborhood. We don't own it anymore. And when my great-great-great-grandmother escaped the Hermitage, she lived in that neighborhood called Black Bottom, where the Country Music Hall of Fame is today. That was the poor African-American neighborhood. And the city of Nashville moved us out around 1910. And where did they go? They went to the area called Wedgwood, Houston, which used to be our neighborhood too, near Fort Negley. And it's becoming, in the Music Row area. You always wonder why a lot of black people lived in the Music Row area, because when they cleared out Black Bottom, that's where we went. But owning property is very important. Many of us have family that have grown up in this neighborhood and still own property. Don't sell your property. Amen. That's your legacy. Yes. If you count the old city limits of downtown Nashville, which is basically the interstate loop. Any Vanderbilt grads? There must be some Vanderbilt grads here in town, okay. So the first, I won't embarrass anybody, but the first line of the alma mater of Vanderbilt is on the city's western border. Vanderbilt wasn't in the city of Nashville back when it was started. The city of Nashville is kind of the inside interstate loop north of Bicentennial Mall, south of Bicentennial Mall. That's old Nashville. Do you know how many pieces of property, and I'm not counting a condo in one of these tall buildings that someone might own, that black people own in the old city of Nashville? One. My church, First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, with the sale of the Morris Building, which the Baptists built 100 years ago, that only leaves one piece of property in old downtown Nashville that Black people own. And that's been happening. And so let's talk about the area around Municipal Auditorium. My great-great-grandfather and his twin brother used to have their law office where the WeGo bus station is in the 1880s, in the 1890s. Down the street on 4th, J.C. Napier had his law office. And the Dr. Robert Fulton Boyd had a hospital there. The Nashville Globe newspaper was on 4th Avenue. A hotel called the Harding House that Frederick Douglass stayed in when he came to Nashville in 1871 was across the street. Cossey Gardner had the Masonic Hall there. And all that got taken out by urban renewal in the early 50s, that they just took all of our land and pushed us out. The Morris Building was the only thing left. Bijou Theater, our Black-owned theater, was also torn down for municipal. Why was it important that we had the Bijou Theater? Because if you went to one of the theaters on Church Street, the Tennessee Theater, the Princess Theater, the Crescent Theater, those were segregated. If you were Black, you couldn't just walk in and sit down in the front. You had to go around the building, down the alley, up some rickety stairs, and sit in the balcony where there was no concessions and no bathrooms. But the Bijou Theater and the Ritz Theater on Jefferson Street, you could sit everywhere you want. So, and these neighborhoods had derogatory names because we lived there. Black Bottom, south of Broadway. Hell's Half Acre, next to the state capitol. There was a place in East Nashville where Oracle has been built. That was where we were too. It was called Crappy Chute, okay? So they put us in these areas, but then they took our land, and then we don't own it anymore. And now that would be the most shocking thing for a Nashvilleian that was alive 120 years ago, 100 years ago, to come back and see our city. They'd be most shocked that the areas where the poor Black people lived or where the Black people lived are the best neighborhoods in Nashville right now. I say that in the sense that we still need to be active. We're getting pushed out of this neighborhood too, and there won't be anything left of Black Nashville, including we have 4 historically Black colleges, but unless we take care of them, they're under threat too. You mentioned Belmont University. There used to be a school called Ward Belmont, which was a women's school, and the Baptists came in 1951 and basically bought that school for a fraction and started their school. That could happen to Fisk. That could happen to Meharry if we're not careful, that somebody just has a real estate move. They don't care about our college. They just want the land that it's on. The skyline of the city is in the background of Fisk, Meharry, and Tennessee State. People that come here from out of town, they don't know Nashville. They just look at Google Maps and draw a mile circle and say, what's close to downtown? I want to be there. All the amenities are downtown. So during Black History Month, we honor people. And we mentioned Zora Neale Hurston earlier. We don't do a good job of talking about Black history. Zora Neale Hurston lived in this city from 1914 to 1916 because her brother was a Meharry and she was taking care of his kids. James Weldon Johnson, who Ethan honored us with today, lived on D.B. Todd. He was a faculty member at Fisk University next to Arna Bontemps, who was also part of the Harlem Renaissance. Everyone always says there's a tie to Nashville. It's true, especially with Black Nashville. So let's learn from our history. Let's be proud of our history. And let's keep our land. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, Judge Jim Todd on deck as we do our 2 more questions here. Okay, thank you so much for that. Wow, Black Bottom. Which African-American tennis player won 3 Grand Slam? Okay, my husband had his hand up. Nope. He had his hand up. Have you already answered? No. Okay. No, did you already win a prize? Okay. Okay. All right. All right, he gets a prize. Can you help me give out the hearts? You want me to do good? Okay, there we go. Me too, but we gonna, okay. No, me too, I know. No, okay. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Who was, and raise your hand, who was the first African-American NBA player? Who was the first African-American NBA player? Coach? Okay, it was Earl Lloyd. Lloyd. Don't know. Just going with these. I just got the answers here. Okay, here's one everybody should know. Which actor starred as the main character in the film Malcolm X? Okay, didn't you already win a prize? He didn't win. Okay, was he first up? Okay. He already got the prize. Yeah, he already got. Somebody said you already got the prize.
Hey, you still have to buy me some candy.
Okay, yeah, he don't count. Okay, we cheating. Okay, we cheating. Yeah, family members can't win. Okay. All right, we'll go on with Judge Jim Todd, and we'll have a couple of questions, and we'll close out. And I want to thank my colleague here. I have gotten to know him so much as a judge and have so much respect for him. I am so grateful for what he does as a judge in our General Sessions Court and how he helps me. And he's very knowledgeable, and I'm looking forward to him to share more about his philanthropic work that he's doing with Judge Jenkins. Thank you.
Love you too, Rob. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to tell a story that some of you may have already heard. Glenn's heard it. I know you've heard it because I've talked about it on your podcast. But it's an important story, and it's sort of what started this whole initiative. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was a prosecutor. And I was the special prosecutor for violent and gang-related offenders in Davidson County, which meant I prosecuted juveniles that we transferred to criminal court and tried as an adult. And one of the first cases I got was a guy named Andrew. And Andrew was 13 years old, and he was charged with murder of a truck driver. And we were going to transfer him and try him as an adult, but the case fell apart. Witnesses went away, so we ended up dismissing the case. About 18 months later, Andrew gets arrested for an aggravated robbery. And he was only 14 at the time, so we decided that we were going to leave him in the juvenile system and not transfer him. And he pled guilty and went off to a youth development center for about 6 months. So about a year after that, I'm at work and I get a call from a detective. And he says, "Hey, Jim, you'll never guess who's down here." And I said, "Who?" And he says, "Andrew." I'm not using his last name. And I said, "What do you got him for?" He said, "Well, we got him for murder. He and 2 other juveniles were selling drugs, and they robbed the guy they were selling and killed him." And I was a young, arrogant white prosecutor, and I went down there to the lockup to meet with Andrew, and I asked this question: "Andrew, what were you robbing this guy for? Did you need money for Air Jordans?" Terrible thing to say. Terrible thing to say. And Andrew looked at me, and he knew me by my name. He said, "Mr. Todd, I was robbing that guy to try to get money to get my brother and my mother out of the projects." And that statement punched me right between the eyes. And the worst thing about it is, about a year later, his younger brother, Rodriguez, killed a man during a robbery, and he's serving life. So there's 2 people that went off serving life. At the time, I was on the board of directors for the Urban League, and the president was a guy named Frank Abernathy. And I went to Frank and I said, "Frank, I'm tired of locking up young black kids because they have no other way to make money than sell drugs." And we talked about things that we could do. And one of the ideas that I had heard about when I was a member of Don Sundquist's Juvenile Justice Reform Commission was vocational training. Some of these other states had put a lot of resources into teaching the basic vocations of masonry, carpentry, electrical, welding, where people make an honest living independently. And so I started talking to Frank about maybe establishing a Davidson County Juvenile Vocational Center, and this was in the 90s. We talked about it, we met with Purcell, nothing happened, it died on the vine. I go into private practice with Glenn Funk, and I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I see the same thing over and over and over and over again. Drug traffickers bring in drugs. They put them in safe houses, and they use the younger kids to put them on the streets. The younger kids get arrested, they get probation. Now they got a criminal record, they can't find a job. Probation officer says, hey, you gotta have a job. They go work at McDonald's, they go to work at a car wash. Listen, I got nothing against that. That's hard, honest work. But when you take home a paycheck of $250 a week and you can make $500 a day slinging drugs, what are they gonna do? So they go back to selling the drugs. They get caught again, now they're gonna do some time. If they're not gonna do serious time on their second offense, they're gonna do what's called a split confinement. They're gonna serve some local time, back out on probation, back out selling the drugs, they're gonna get caught again. Now they're gonna do TDOC time. They're gonna go away for a while. And I'm telling you, Glenn will tell you, everyone gets right back out and does it again because now they have all these felony convictions, there's no meaningful work for them. Then they get collared again, the feds are after them and looking at 20 to life. Every federal pre-sentence report on drug offenders, you know Glenn, read the same way. Serendipitously enough, I run into Frank Abernathy again about 2 years ago in the courthouse. And I say, Frank, remember that idea we talked about in the 90s about a vocational center? We really need to do this. We really need to do this. So Frank and I started having lunch. We started talking about it. Nothing happened except we got fatter. So we actually hired a woman named Deb Varallo with Varallo Public Relations. You may know her. And hired her and forced her to force us to get this going. So we raised some money, and we were able to hire my good friend, Tim Forbes, who will speak in a minute. He's now our executive director. And we are now, it was the Davidson County Juvenile Vocational Center. We're a 501c3 organization. We're raising money to actually build a multi-million-dollar project, a hard building that will teach at-risk juveniles masonry, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, welding, because you ever have a plumber come to your house? They're walking away with $300 or $400, okay? That's just the way it is. You can work independently with your own truck and make meaningful money at a young age. And so our goal is to be able to get at-risk kids into this program, supplement their education with vocational training, teach them that there's a way that you can make honest, good money without selling the drugs. Let's talk about Judge Dinkins. I knew Judge Dinkins from before I went to law school. I was introduced to him by my friend Floyd Price. Known him forever, greatest guy in the world. Frank Abernathy is the one that came up with the idea of naming it after him because of all he did for the youth in Nashville, representing the schools with Senator Williams in the desegregation fight. We went to the nursing home to talk to Mr. Dinkins, couldn't do it because of the condition he was in, and ultimately he died before he knew that we were going to name this after him. But his family is very invested in it. We have a great board of directors. Carl Dean is on our board of directors. Carl's interesting because Carl represented a guy named Terrence McLaurin, who I prosecuted as a 12-year-old in the adult system for a robbery homicide. So he's very invested in it. Judge Sheila Calloway is very invested in it. We have a very good board of directors. So we're just getting the word out. We're raising money, and hopefully we already have some space at the Magruder Center, but we're going to have our own building, and we're going to have the Judge Dinkins Educational Center to try to change the lives of some at-risk youth. I'm going to introduce my friend Tim Forbes. Tim, let me tell you about Tim. Tim was headmaster at St. Matthew's School, okay? He had a job with a paycheck, with kids and a wife. And he leaves that job to come take this task on, where his paycheck is dependent upon how much money we raise. And that's how much he believes in this. He's a runner. He's not just a marathoner. He's an ultra-marathoner. He runs 100-mile races. He's training to run up Mount Kilimanjaro. That's the kind of drive that he has. Tim, can you come up? I want you to talk a little bit more. How much time do I have?
3 minutes, I'm counting. Let him go, let him go. Loosen and let him go.
Loosen it up, Joe.
Grace and mercy.
So this is Tim Forbes. He's going to talk to you about a little bit more of the details of what we're trying to do, and thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, and I will hopefully not go over the 3 or 4 minutes that I have left time remaining. As Jim had mentioned, or Judge Todd had mentioned, we are starting the Judge Dinkins Educational Center. It is a pre-vocational, pre-apprenticeship program for justice-involved youth. We hope to take these kids into the Magruder Center and for 6 months give them OSHA training, pre-construction training, soft skills, counseling, and then move them into a pre-apprenticeship where they can continue to learn the trade, turn 18, and then go into an apprenticeship where they will continue a mentor-mentee relationship and have those hours serve as hours towards their licensure for their journeyman's license. The National Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention has demonstrated a strong correlation between mental health and those who are engaged in youth, justice-involved youth. Therefore, we cannot ignore the mental health component of these students. 70% of justice-involved youth have either experienced trauma or have a diagnosable mental health disorder, in contrast to the 9 to 20% of youth in the general population. So as a part of the Judge Dinkins Educational Center, we will offer mental health services. Very fortunate that Katie Veit with the University of Tennessee Mental Health is working with us and is serving on our advisory board and how we can go ahead and provide these services. And pre-vocational systems or pre-vocational programs for justice-involved youth have proven effective. In the city of Baltimore, there's a program called Fresh Start. Students who have been involved in juvenile justice are sent to Fresh Start program. It is a 6-month they do not live there, and they are engaged in carpentry skills. They have a recidivism rate below 20%, and their attendance rate while they're in Fresh Start is over 80% compared to the 15% that these students had when they were in traditional school. And the Cadillac, or the gold standard for pre-vocational diversionary programs, is in Monterey, California. In 2001, a judge said he was tired of locking up children, primarily of migrant farmers, and sending them away. And so he started Rancho Cielo. It started with 84 students, and now they have 250 students. The program is so effective that it not only works with justice-involved youth, but has open enrollment. So students see that as an option for them and their best option for a career. So we know that this works. What I would like to ask this community, one, as we are in a house of worship, as we move forward, we ask for your support, but more importantly, we ask for your prayers. As this community and love the notion of community over cliques, and that's something that I will carry away today and something that I will be conscious of in my own life, is that we are a community that can only move forward and are only as strong as our weakest link. Our youth deserve our absolute best. It does not matter what neighborhood they're from. This is one community, and our youth deserve and demand our absolute best. And so the Judge Dinkins Educational Center will work to serve the youth who are justice involved within our community. So thank you, guys. God bless you.
Hang on, Tim Forbes at JDEC.
JDECNash.org.
Tim Forbes, like the magazine, at JDECNash.org. We will go any place, anytime, anywhere, and speak to anyone about this program. And so send us an email, let us know. I see a question in the back.
Yes, Jim. I want to salute you.
Thank you. Thank you, and I'm sorry for your loss, and we'll chat real quick.
Okay, good job. All right. Pastor Fuzz, did you have any remarks? Acknowledgements? We thank you, Jim Todd, Judge Todd, for all the wonderful work you do. And we want to say hello to Jim Ginrich, who's with us. He ran for mayor and came to Nashville, and he's back. So we are glad to see you. I've already recognized General Funk. Do we have any announcements?
We meet every second Saturday now. So any of you who are here the first time or second time, just know that you're welcome to be here second Saturdays of the month at 8 a.m.
Can we get somebody to, at this one Nashville meeting, talk about insurance, how important insurance is? Because a lot of people does not have it. And a lot of people nowadays,
You mean life insurance?
yeah, life insurance,
Oh, yeah, we're actually going to do a whole One Nashville, and I'm meant to talk to Pastor Fuzz about it on probate, and I'm going to have Judge Andrew Hedrick to come and talk about end-of-life issues and how to tidy up the things before things pop off, okay? Great, thank you so much. I'm going to start over here, and we're going to get 30-second announcements,
Yes.
and I'm going to time.
On this Wednesday, a lot of people are not flying every Friday, 45, 90. But this Wednesday, I started my first 1-hour show called Hump Day News with Reverend. And my first guest will be District Attorney. It's on 790, and also we are on FM station. They don't have it on this spot, but Hump Day News. And Brother Todd, I definitely want to have you guys on. So thank you. It's going to be from 45, 790 FM and 104.9. 790 AM and 104.9 FM. Day News. It's going to be the unadulterated truth.
Thank you. All right, over in this center, do we have any announcements in this center here? Okay, we have one more announcement here. Go ahead.
Morning, everybody. Good to see you, Enoch.
Did you have an announcement?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I just forgot your name.
That's okay.
Judge Kimbrough Hayes. You're doing an awesome job. Music City United Festival. We did it last year at Watkins Park. Thankful all those that helped. Had an awesome situation in the Watkins Park neighborhood. Had a team from Kansas turned up with a bunch of bikes to give away. Young 13-year-old African-American boy was given one of the bikes. He turned up the next day with his old bike. We said, "Where's your good brand new bike?" He said, "It meant I could give my dad a present for Father's Day." We will be, God willing, at Watkins Park, Father's Day weekend, June 14 to 19. Reach out, watch out for the news. And one thought, in terms of, I'm from New Zealand. I love music, all about music. And King David, we're faith people. King David in the Old Testament had the most successful monarchy, most successful regime in Israel's history. He was a musician and a songwriter and led the nation. He was a man who honored God, and he had a whole city built around singers and musicians and creative people who wanted to use their music for God. My heart is that Music City, which was, I understand, first named after a gospel singing music group.
Jubilee Singers.
Yes. What if the church, combined church across Nashville, across Music City, led the nation and said, "You know what? We're going to find the funds in and through and from the church to hire the best talent to honor God and serve our neighborhoods." Who cares who wins the Grammys if it's not building communities And we had a police officer, community officer in schools last year, African American, who'd been in the schools for 25 years. He said, Phil, I'm ripped apart. He said, because I can't talk at school about the music that these young African American students are listening to because it's calling people to kill others and the like. So let's raise up the church, and I'm not trying to put some religious limit on it. I'm saying,
Let's
King
do
David
it.
did it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, in the center, real quick, with 30 seconds, I'm gonna hold you to it because we're almost at 9:30. Thank you. Look, Reverend Benita Lewis is a great resource out there for you. Okay, Courtney?
Yes, my name's Courtney Fulham. I just wanted to share, I do a radio show on WBLM. So on the part of urban listening. On Monday.
Got the whole time. Okay.
So we have 3 events coming in dedicated senior medical award. Black History Month. We're also having our panel discussion and experts. That's one of the purposes of today. Well, breakfast will be provided, raffles will be seniors. Got 5 seconds left.
Really don't.
Jury's out. Yeah, you should get them. My name is Rob Mack. I am the owner of Realty. I produce a podcast, podcast.com, where we spotlight positive Nashvillians making a positive impact on a lot of the questions, answers that affect our community are found. I have guests such as Dan Lane and all of his positive contributions. Rashida with Gideon's Army, so on and so forth. So just to kind of give y'all a heads up about what we're doing in 3 Ps is we will continue to spotlight positivity in that.
Okay, we are at time. I want to say thank all of you for coming out in this rain. And you are so kind, and I love each and every one of you, and happy Valentine's Day. And can I borrow 2 minutes, more minutes of your Saturday? We're going to try to do a One Nashville picture, and with Reverend Fuzz in it, and just real quick, okay?
Robin, this is on YouTube, live stream today, so those who'd like to go back and revisit the, like Jim, we want to see how you did, visit YouTube. David, that was great. I'm glad it's on YouTube. You can go back and visit it at YouTube. It's at CorinthianBaptist ChurchNashville. 2 words. CorinthianBaptist Church Nashville. on YouTube.
Okay.
And just look up today's date.
4 seconds. Okay, I forgot to mention that we're doing free CPR training, learncpramerica@gmail.com. If you know any faith-based community organizations that need us to come, that's my 4 seconds. Learn CPR America
Come on,
at
let's go and
Gmail.
get in this picture. Thank you. Let's go and get in this picture. I'm trying to think, should we do it in front of the church? I mean, right here? Okay, anybody that can help
Hey,
me.
you know what? It would probably be better if everybody was sitting.
Yeah, if everybody would sit in the first rows in this area. If everybody would sit in these front rows in this area. And I'll stand up and take a picture. Okay, we'll see. Sit in these front rows. Come on and get in this picture. Come on and get in this picture. Reverend Crummy, you can come down and take the picture. Okay, if everybody can go ahead and have a seat.
Cool.
If everybody would go and take a seat, Reverend Crummy's gonna take a picture. Let's say that for Fuzz. Make sure we have a seat. Make sure we have a seat for Reverend Fuzz. Yeah, right here. You got it right here. Yeah, you can sit right. No, sit on the pew and sit close. Sit on the pew. No, I got it. Sit on the pew and we got you closer. Got you. Okay.
No, him. He got to stay there. He's got
You can stand up and let Kathy stand.
There you go. You good. Okay, right there. You good. Okay. Benita and Glenn Funk and this young lady back here, if y'all can move over so we can get this picture. If you all can move up, honey, if you can move up a row, and if Mr. Honey, everybody, if that row can move up, and okay, we're gonna be able to. Mr. Reverend, Reverend Crumley's gonna take the picture, so you can get in it too. Okay, great. Okay. We are One Nashville, and I'm gonna do a quick video clip too. We are One Nashville. This is great for TikTok.
Y'all,
Okay.
Right here, you right
Okay.
y'all tell Reverend Crony thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend Crumley.
Thank you.
One, two, three.
There you go.
One, two, three.
Okay.
Raise your arms up.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Okay, real quick video. We were One Nashville. Then y'all go back to Saturday.
Robin did a good job today, too.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. We are One Nashville. Yay! Okay, great.
Do it again.
1, 2, 3. We are One Nashville. Yay! Okay, great. Okay, one more, y'all.
He's like this.
1, 2, 3.
We are One Nashville.
1, 2, 3.
We are One Nashville. Okay, thank y'all, and may God bless you all. Okay, yeah, if you are a speaker on the program, have Karen Johnson is here, our register of deeds. She came with us today. Okay, Ethan, come on. Okay. Reverend Crony, where'd you go? Come on. You remember me? Did you remember who I am? Do you remember? I had always Jim, come on up here. This Jim. Jim Todd. Jim Todd.